Hi everyone, it's Rennie from A Rennie for Your Thoughts. Welcome to the inaugural episode. We're going to start off with a 7x7 build. Of course, the inspiration I got from James Turner after he did some Sims build challenges. He did 6x6, 5x5, 4x4, all the way down to 3x3. He made them fully functional spaces to live in. It's really quite ingenious. So, since I'd never done a minimalist build before, I gave myself a little extra room and I went with 7x7. So, just to see how I could do. And then I went into the sim bin and I grabbed a family. In this case, it was the Craft family, Paisley and her son Ramon. I used them to check and make sure that all of the pieces in the home were fully functional and that you could get around to them. I had to hide the headboard because it was sticking out of the wall some. But all of this is fully functional, ready to use. And you're actually not going to see the bits where they test out the pieces to see if they're working. I cut those out. But I promise you they do all work. The master bedroom was a bit of a tight squeeze because in a 3x3 space you can really only afford to do a double bed. She can get in to either side of them. And to make this easier, I just put in a door frame and, curtains to give her a little bit of privacy, but to not make it so difficult to get in and out of the room. In between her room and her son's room, I put in a 2x3 bathroom. I ended up using a few items from the Spa Day pack because, seriously, that stuff is really flippin' cool looking. Don't know how else to say it. I love the mirrors with the extra lighting on there, and I really liked the way that this tub looked too. And I thought it all kind of gelled nicely with the sink and the mirror selection from the base game pack, so I just went with it. And then in the space next to that Ramon's room is going to be built there. I tried to go with a slightly different color palette for each room in there. Paisley's room is a nice navy and gray. The bathroom is red, white, and black. And Ramon's room is going to be green. Mostly green. Since there isn't a whole lot of room in the 2x3, in his room he's basically just going to get a few lights, his bed, a book bag, and that's pretty much it. But realistically, that's all a kid his age really needs. Don't really imagine kids like him playing with dollhouses, that sort of thing. So, not too bad, pretty believable. And here I'm just kind of checking out my layout. I actually split this large room in half with a spandrel to kind of separate the kitchen from the living space. And I had a huge triumph. I was able to finally use this electric sheep wallpaper. How cool is this stuff? There are not very many funky wall patterns in this game, which I was kind of bummed out about, but I had no idea how to use this before, and I struggled and I put it in places where it didn't belong and it looked kind of stupid, but apparently the perfect place for this electric sheep wallpaper is in a retro 60s kind of kitchen. So I didn't really stick with the base game when I built this home. I went with the cool kitchen stuff because it's very aptly named. It's really cool kitchen stuff. So I also went with the Harbinger cabinets because it's only one of, I think, 2 options in this game that has multiple colors. Everything else is just like wood or stone. And while it's cool and it has its place, I really like to throw in color. I'm a huge fan of vibrant and saturated colors, so I had to throw them in somewhere, and the kitchen won. So from the cool kitchen stuff, I grabbed these awesome bar stools and of course the stove and some of the kitchen utensils on the wall there, and then also the Taste of Umami rack, and I thought it fit in pretty well. It was really cool looking. Then in the living space, there wasn't a whole lot of room, and especially when you're sticking to a starter budget, you really can't afford very much in the way of televisions. And I don't I honestly don't remember the last time I saw someone with a big boxy television, so I went with the smallest flat screen and I sized it up. The absolute coolest little cheat that I never knew that I wanted or needed in life. And then I thought I'd toss in a super funky color for a couch. If you've ever actually gone couch shopping before, you'll know it's basically impossible to find any cool looking couches. It's shades of beige and brown. That's pretty much it. Like, even a gray or a black couch is really kind of out there, and you're really heading towards the top of your budget to get something like that. So at this point I realized that my wall coverings were pretty bare in every room except for the master, so I'm putting up some curtains in here to best suit the color palettes that I went with. And then after that, I'm checking out the outside, making sure that it looks like a cute little suburban home. I'm gonna use these window boxes because I think it gives it that sort of whimsical suburban starter feel, especially for a young woman with a son. You know, I felt that it was really believable that she would like a cutesy looking place like that. Alright, and then from here I'm just kind of figuring out which patterns I like, and then doing some sort of final finishes, like realizing things I'd forgotten. Oh yeah, and then when I switched up the wallpapering, the coat rack disappeared, so I had to put in another one, because otherwise I thought the space looked kind of stupid. I gave the kid a nice little monkey bar jungle gym, you know, so he can have some friends over. And I was seriously loving this asymmetrical roof. This half-gabled roof is so cool looking. And I'm just really not a fan of what they did with the hipped roofs in this game. If you don't use a roofing trim, they look like they're just kind of floating, and it's really bizarre. And if you use the wrong... I mean, really, if you use any roofing trim, it looks kind of stupid. So I've been sticking pretty much to the half-gabled roof combinations in my builds. And then here, with my remaining funds, I'm going to finish off with some essentials. Of course, the garbage and the mailbox. And seeing if I can squeeze in like another wall decoration to make this place a little bit more lived in. Because it's a little sterile and depressing if you don't have any clutter in there. And can we talk about that clutter tab under decorations? It's really unlocked a lot of ideas for me. In the past, I just did not like using things if they didn't have a real purpose, but been able to kind of figure out some stuff. Also, if you have any cool ideas in terms of how to use these half walls, I would love to know them. I put it behind the sofa because if you've ever had big dogs and a sofa, you know that once they jump on, it kind of slides all over the place, so I thought the anchor would be pretty cool. Alright, so thank you so much for watching this video. I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Constructive criticism is always welcome. And if you want to find it in the Sims 4 gallery, my username is CuriousWren, no spaces, and the title of this is Suburban Starter. So thank you again for watching, and have a good one.